From cooking meth in an RV to committing outright murder, Jesse Pinkman's journey in Breaking Bad is nothing short of roller coaster criminality. But have you ever stopped to wonder just how many years this would translate to in real-life prison time? Welcome to Cinema Mugshot, where fiction meets the gavel, and we break down your favorite TV show moments against the backdrop of real-world laws. Let's dive deep into every on-screen crime Jesse commits, tally up those years, and reveal the jaw-dropping sentence he'd face in reality. Jesse dives into the dangerous world of methamphetamine production, initiating his journey into criminality inside an RV. Drug manufacturing, up to 10 years in federal prison. In this gripping scene, we witness the very inception of Jesse's descent into the meth trade. Driven by desperation and influenced by Walter, Jesse takes on the task of producing meth inside an RV. Even though he may have perceived it as a quick way to make cash, the gravity of this crime is undeniable. If caught, Jesse could face a hefty decade behind bars for drug manufacturing alone.
I ain't buying, I say. I'm selling.
Jesse takes a dangerous step by handing off a batch of meth to Crazy 8, marking one of his first sales in the series. Drug distribution, up to 20 years in prison. From cooking to selling, Jesse's involvement deepens as he transacts with Crazy 8. Selling methamphetamine isn't just a simple handoff, it's a major felony. With this sale, Jesse risks a staggering 20 years imprisonment, further entangling himself in the drug underworld. As the DEA raids a location, Jesse is caught with a stash of meth and is ultimately high. Drug possession, up to 9 years in prison. Getting involved in the drug trade has its risks, and this moment underscores it for Jesse. Being caught in possession of meth can be a life-altering offense. A mere stash can translate to an additional 3 years of potential jail time for Pinkman.
For the opportunity, I was dreamt about, melting bodies.
In an attempt to dispose of a body, Jesse unwittingly damages a bathtub with hydrofluoric acid. Destruction of property, up to 10 years in prison. Jesse's lack of chemistry knowledge is glaringly evident here. While trying to dissolve a body, he inadvertently destroys a bathtub with hydrofluoric acid. This oversight isn't just a costly mistake, it's a crime that could cost him another 3 years in prison. And if he's caught with how the property was destroyed, well, that's the story for another time.
Come on, just tell me what you want. Jesus. Oh.
Jesse's unexpected alliance with Walter results in the kidnapping of lawyer Saul Goodman. Kidnapping, up to 25 years in prison. When legal troubles arise, Jesse and Walter turn to unconventional methods, leading to Saul Goodman's dramatic introduction. While meant as an intimidation tactic, the act of kidnapping carries a significant legal penalty, a whopping 25 years potential imprisonment.
You don't have to do this.
A haunting moment for Jesse, as he takes the life of Gail Boetiker, an innocent chemist. Murder, mandatory life imprisonment. This gut-wrenching scene highlights a pivotal turning point for Jesse. Committing murder, especially of an innocent like Gail, showcases the profound depths of Jesse's involvement in the criminal world. The consequence? A mandatory life sentence. Engulfed by anger, Jesse douses Walter's home with gasoline, intent on setting it ablaze. Arson, up to 20 years in prison. In an intense display of his animosity towards Walter, Jesse's attempt at arson signifies a cry for justice. This fiery act of revenge, while not fully executed, carries a severe penalty of up to 20 years.
You're telling me you made this in the lab?
Why not?
Teaming up with Walter, Jesse becomes a part of the intricate plot to take down Gus Fring. Accessory to murder, up to 15 years in prison. As the stakes rise, Jesse aligns with Walter in a deadly plot against Gus, being an accessory to such a serious crime, even if indirectly carries with it the weight of a potential 15-year sentence, further adding to Jesse's growing list of criminal charges.
Tell me what it is you think I did.
Brock, why did you poison him?
Who's Brock?
Jesse's involvement in the drug trade indirectly exposes his girlfriend's young son Brock to danger, though he doesn't directly poison him, endangering a minor up to 6 years in prison. In one of the series' darkest twists, young Brock's life hangs in the balance. Though not intentional, Jesse's proximity to the boy's poisoning presents moral quandaries and serious legal implications. This grave oversight could result in an additional 6 years behind bars. Jesse, along with friends, rob a train carrying a large amount of methylamine. Theft, up to 15 years in prison. In one of the series' most daring heists, Jesse takes part in robbing a train, which is not just a theft, but also an endangerment to public safety. This audacious act amplifies his criminal resume and potential time behind bars.
Why didn't you call? Why didn't you... Stop!
In a fit of rage, Jesse violently attacks Saul Goodman after learning about his role in Brock's poisoning. Assault, up to 5 years in prison. Betrayal and anger culminate in a violent confrontation as Jesse lashes out at Saul. This physical altercation, driven by a quest for truth, adds an assault charge to his list of offenses. Throughout the series, Jesse is seen driving under the influence and in a reckless manner. Reckless driving, up to 1 year in prison. Driven by adrenaline, substance influence, or sheer frustration, Jesse's road behavior often borders on the dangerous. Beyond the potential harm, such driving could further lengthen his hypothetical prison sentence.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I was dreamt about, melting bodies.
To get rid of potential incriminating evidence, Jesse and Walter dispose of Emilio's body using hydrofluoric acid. Destruction of evidence, up to 5 years in prison. In a harrowing act of desperation, Jesse and Walter resort to disturbing measures to erase evidence. This gruesome act is not just a normal transgression, but a serious legal offense, deepening Jesse's entanglement in criminality.
Come on! That's my partner.
As Walter White's partner, Jesse often aids in various illicit activities, ranging from meth production to violent confrontations. Aiding and abetting, up to 7 years in prison. While Walter is often the mastermind behind many of their endeavors, Jesse's involvement isn't passive. His active support in these crimes puts him squarely in the crosshairs of the law.
You tell the cops about me, and I am coming for every goddamn one of you.
Jesse is frequently seen with a gun without any indication that he has a legal permit. Illegal possession of firearms, up to 10 years in prison. In the treacherous world he inhabits, Jesse often arms himself for protection, yet this act of self-preservation carries potential legal consequences, given the absence of a valid firearm license.
Where do you think you're going?
Inside. Bought the place.
Jesse buys his parents' house with drug money. Money laundering, up to 20 years in prison. Jesse's purchase of his childhood home with drug money is more than just a symbolic takeover, it's an act of money laundering, adding another layer to his criminal enterprises. Jesse, on various occasions, escapes from rehab and other facilities, evading legal custody up to 3 years in prison. In a desperate bid for freedom, Jesse evades mandated custody, showcasing his relentless spirit, but also accruing more legal woes.
I could file a suit and encumber this property indefinitely.
In an attempt to buy his parents' house, Jesse indirectly bribes a real estate agent through Saul to reduce the selling price, bribing officials up to 15 years in prison. Manipulating the property market with illicit means, Jesse's ploy to buy his childhood home also carries the stain of bribery, potentially leading to a prolonged prison term. Jesse's meth production, especially in uncontrolled environments like the RV, poses a potential risk to the public, endangering public safety up to 4 years in prison. Cooking meth, especially in a mobile and unstable environment, isn't just a crime against the state, but a potential hazard to innocent bystanders.
Hey man, you can't go in there!
Jesse's impulsiveness leads him to break into several properties, either to confront someone or steal. Breaking and entering, up to 6 years in prison. Boundaries often don't deter Jesse, especially when emotions run high. Breaking into properties, he displays a blatant disregard for personal space and legal consequences. And there you have it, folks, a detailed breakdown of Jesse Pinkman's extensive on-screen criminal record. When we total it all up, Jesse faces an astonishing life plus 206 years in prison. It's truly mind-boggling to imagine the weight of these crimes when stacked up against real-world laws. If you found this analysis intriguing, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the Cinema Mugshot for more deep dives into your favorite TV moments. We'd love to keep bringing the gavel down on your favorite characters.